Department is getting a taste of internet clapbacks right now. The agency bragged that U.S. Treasuries are having their best year since 2020, posting a chart on X that celebrated higher borrowing costs under President Trump. But people on both sides of the aisle, they were quick to ridicule that, pointing at that those high numbers can actually be a sign of economic weakness. Matt Egan has more on this. What happened?
Okay. Well, look, this post from the Treasury Department on X has gone viral, right? Almost 11 million views and sparking a lot of serious pushback from people on the internet. Now, Treasury Department, they posted that, as you mentioned, Treasuries this year have had their best year since 2020, and they're arguing that investors who had confidence in President Trump's policies have been richly rewarded. They add, never bet against the president or America. Now, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he even doubled down here. He posted a meme of the children's book character Franklin the Turtle wearing a MAGA hat and holding a wad of cash, as you can see here. But the problem is that rising Treasury prices are not a sign of confidence, right? This is a sign often of nervousness among investors, right? That's hence the comparison to 2020, a time when a lot of people were really nervous. I mean, you got to remember that treasuries are kind of like the lifeboats in financial markets, right? That's where people pile into when they're scared. Now, RSM economist Joe Bruce-Wellis, he told me that this post from Treasury is, quote, slightly south of embarrassing because higher bond prices are often linked to rising economic risk and the possible onset of a recession. There were a number of other different responses. There's an economist editor who, Mike Berger, who also posted the same character saying that Franklin the Turtle discovers that rising bond prices can also imply lower future growth expectations. Conservative writer Bill Kristol, he responded as well. He said, this is total economic illiteracy or gaslighting from U.S. Treasury. This is like saying sales of cold medicine are having a great year. Aren't our health policies working great? The other point here, though, is that one of the reasons why treasuries have had a strong year is because rates are really high, right? They've come down a bit, but they're still north of 4%. That's significant because the higher the rates are, the higher it is for all of us to borrow, right? Mortgages, car loans, also for the government to borrow. Look at this. This is spending last fiscal year, the fiscal year that just ended October 1, and it shows that the government spent almost $1 trillion just on interest. Kate, that's more than the government spent on the national defense.